Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Brent and in today's video we're going to be doing our stock market weekly recap for the 12th to the 16th of April 2021. This will be week 15. We're going to go ahead and quickly cover last week's changes up on the screen now. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the entire S&P 500, Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, Russell 2000. We're going to be taking a look at cryptocurrency. I am going to be sharing an article here as far as some news that came out on Saturday where all the crypto markets essentially fell 10 to 20%, if not more. There was a pretty good hard hit, and there was a couple different reasons for that, which we'll go ahead and discuss here after our previous week's changes. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at the entire S&P 500 performance for this past week. What stocks were up, what stocks were down, what sectors were strong, and what sectors were weak. Then we'll take a look at oil, dollar, silver, gold, bonds, the 10-year yield, and today's mortgage rate. So with that said, if you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, go down below, hit the red button to subscribe, make it gray, hit the bell to be notified every time we release a brand new video. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, make it blue, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so going over last week's changes, the stock market on week 14, pretty positive out there. You can see the FANG stocks blowing the market up ahead. We can see Amazon up 6.68, Tesla 2.31, Google 6.61, Facebook 4.62, Microsoft, Apple up, I believe it's one of the highest last week here in the S&P 500, up a whopping 8.13%. So that really helped out the main indexes. We can see the S&P up 2.71, Dow Jones 1.95, the NASDAQ there 3.12, number one last week. The Russell 2000 remaining to, continuing to remain negative. It's been negative, I believe, 4 weeks in a row now. We did see silver and gold pop positive, silver up 1.17, gold up 0.81. Bonds were positive, flat, up 0.17. 10-year bond rate remains the same at 1.73, and mortgage rates decreased by 2 basis points from 3.34 to 3.32. So we are seeing that mortgage rates are coming down a little bit more, which I've seen this past week as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's changes starting back here on the 12th of April. We can see Monday essentially started, gained a bit, and then kind of, trudged sideways the entire day. So essentially it was pretty flat, down 0.02% on the day. Tuesday and Wednesday, they kind of give and they gave it and they took it right away. So Monday through Wednesday, essentially the market did nothing. We had some earnings, I believe, late in the week. Thursday up 1.13%, Friday up 0.36% for a 5-day change there of 1.37%. Year to date, look at that. Big change there just from a few weeks ago. I think it was like last month or the month before, the S&P 500 was essentially up only 1 or 2%. So there's been some major movement here in the last few weeks and months, the last few months or weeks. So, up 11.43. Dow Jones, pretty much the same story. So not as much movement as you see from the S&P 500, but still pretty positive here. Monday and Tuesday, pretty flat, a little bit further. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, kind of picking it back up. They don't have that many financials having earnings that popped the S&P 500. So this one went positive, but only up by 1.18, which is still really good. Year to date, this is up 11.74. So just slightly beating out the S&P 500 at this moment. Now the tech stocks, I'll have to check out Earnings Whisper to see when the tech stocks will start to produce their earnings, but I know it's in a few weeks ahead. So the NASDAQ here up 1.09. As we get into earnings season in just a few weeks, the NASDAQ will become more volatile than where it's at right now. Right now it is in third place or I think it may be in fourth place as far as performance for the year. It is up 9.03%. Okay, so it is in last place at the moment. As far as performance goes, the NASDAQ is up 9.03. Number one right now, as far as performance goes, we can see that the Russell 2000 is in first place at 14.57%. This week it is finally positive after, I believe, 3 or 4 consecutive weeks of being negative. We can see that the Russell 2000 here is now up by 0.86%, putting it year to date up 14.57%. So interesting there as well. So number one, we have the Russell 2000, followed right behind by the Dow Jones at 11.74. Right on its heels is the S&P 500 at 11.43, and the NASDAQ is in last place right now, but beat out all the indexes back in 2020, up 9.03. We still have more than half a year remaining here in 2021, so we could see the NASDAQ pull ahead here later in the year. Now, as far as cryptocurrency goes, there's an article that I shared off on Saturday, but we can see that as far as percentage changes go for the day, the Bitcoin is down in the 56,000s. It had dropped to about $52,000 at one point. Ethereum here down 5.05, XRP down 10.25, and Dogecoin there up 9.98% right now. 32 cents. So crazy movement there within cryptocurrency. Now, a quick article I wanted to share with you guys here as far as here they are. There's two articles. One, they're kind of both, not any one specific one was really saying that, this is the reason for Bitcoin's price crashing 14%, but one of the reasons was that the U.S. Treasury may potentially be charging several financial institutions for money laundering using cryptocurrency. So it just says sources, so it's not very specific, but here we can see that there was a massive movement, sell-off with Bitcoin, dropping it from 60,000, essentially 61,000 to 51,000. So that's a $10,000 difference right there, just within 12 hours. So there it says on a 12-hour chart, Bitcoin shed about $10,000 there. And the reasoning that they gave there was for the U.S. Treasury, but I haven't looked and seen any other sources there. This is one of those times where Bitcoin fell. It fell below the Fibonacci lines, and this could be an interesting opportunity to buy if you were interested in checking out crypto. I only own Bitcoin, but it's not as much as I would like, and I am going to be adding to my portfolio about 5 different cryptocurrencies. I'd like to have some proof of work and proof of stake. That way, proof of stake cryptocurrencies are very similar to dividends. They kind of mine and they produce more of themselves, which is very cool. So I'm definitely going to be taking a look at a few different ones. I kind of posted that over on my story on Instagram, asking investors, what are some different cryptocurrencies that you invest in that you would mind sharing with. That way I'm going to go ahead and do my own research. What are these coins used for? What's their purpose? And all that fun jazz. So I don't know if you guys would be interested in checking out that. Bitcoin in itself isn't new to me, but it's still an area where there's so many cryptocurrencies and altcoins out there that, finding the one outside of Bitcoin that could be, the next, who knows, offer a really good return there. So I'll definitely be doing some research on some different cryptocurrencies. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned. I think maybe I'll try and put in a video or two there and create an article there as far as researching cryptocurrencies a little bit. Now, another reason for the potential Bitcoin drop was Turkey is in the middle of banning cryptocurrency payments. So a lot of people, I guess, have been using Bitcoin to pay, which is decreasing the use of Turkey's currency. The United States has the dollar, and Turkey has whatever their fiat system, their fiat currency is there. But what's happening is that their currency has been decreasing over time these last several years, and more people are pushing money into cryptocurrency. So Turkey went out there and said, hey, we're no longer allowing Bitcoin or any sort of coins to have monopoly over their currency. So they're completely banning it out there. So I don't believe that this would be the biggest reason for Bitcoin dropping by so hard. If I think this is the more significant news here, that the U.S. Treasury is coming out there and trying to charge, several financial institutions, but the dollar is used for much more money laundering than cryptocurrency is doing. So that's kind of an interesting there, and that's all shared over on my Facebook page. If you guys are interested in checking out those two articles, that is just posted there about 15 hours ago. Okay, take a look at the entire S&P 500 performance for this past 1 week. So overall, we can see that the markets were positive, right? 1.37%, but that didn't come from the FANG stocks. So you can see that the FANG stocks were positive, but Amazon was only up 0.81, Google up 0.53, Facebook was down 2%, Apple was up 0.88, and Microsoft was up 1.91. So I think a lot of the FANG stocks are kind of being, not a lot of pressure on them at the moment. They're just kind of hovering by as earnings season is kind of ramping up. But we do see a lot of movement there down in the utilities. Take a look at utilities here. Essentially, all utilities are up either around 2% to some as high as almost 6% there down at the bottom. We can see ticker symbol CMS up 5.99%. But utilities did really well. So if you had any utilities in your portfolio, pretty diversified. We can see that a little bit of your portfolio got helped out there as well. We can see that healthcare, we can see that Pfizer, one of those positions that you don't see very often moving with high swings here, up 5.38%. So with Johnson & Johnson's vaccine halted, this may be looking better for Pfizer. So I'm not sure the whole news there on Pfizer, if they had earnings or if, because of their shot not being halted, such as Johnson & Johnson's was, that maybe that played out a little bit better for Pfizer there. But you can see that one alone helped push the rest of the overall sector pretty high. Also down in the medical devices and diagnostics, we can see quite a bit of green there as well. A lot of real estate investment trust. So ticker symbol IRM. Not as positive as the other ones. I know what's that? Iron Mountain, I believe. Something of sorts. I know I looked into that one in the past, but kind of an interesting mix there. So see NVIDIA up here. I didn't see NVIDIA in the past. That one's up 10.5%. I'll have to look into what caused that. I know Andre. No, I forgot his channel name, but I think it's just Andre's World. He made a video recently that I was checking out that he had purchased NVIDIA back in the 300s or 400s during the recent dip. So that is an incredible return there for NVIDIA, popping basically 100% since he kind of bought that dip. Adobe and Oracle there. So kind of interesting, but we do see a lot of positive movement there within healthcare and utilities, a little bit of REITs as well, which I think helped the overall market even when the tech stocks weren't really pushing any higher. We can see some of the banks here were pretty negative. Okay, jumping over into oil. Oil popped nicely up at 6.25%, even though Exxon is only up 1.41 and Chevron is up by 0.04. So kind of interesting to see oil and energy, a lot of negative or essentially flat there, but we see oil itself up 6.25%. The dollar moving lower, as you'd expect. We started the week here at 92.07, now down to 91.60 here. So dollar, it's been hovering in this $90 to $92 range. I'm not sure if it'll actually drop any lower than this or it'll just kind of stay in this range. We are now taking a look at silver. Silver almost back positive here to date, up a very nice 2.93% this week alone. So huge movements there. You can see a lot of volume here on Thursday early morning. Big volume jumping up this from $24. So silver has moved quite a bit within the last year. I remember when silver was down in that $14 range for quite a while. Back in April, May of 2020, look at that movement there. Almost 100% return there from the $14 point. If this gets into the 28s, it's fairly close. And we have the gold Gold up 1.9%. Year to date, still pretty big there, down 6.72%. But we can see some pretty big volumes here of buying going on here on Thursday. So even though gold is, not at those record highs, gold's actually been underperforming silver. So silver's popped. It's stayed pretty consistent throughout the last year. So if we take a look at silver again, we can see that it had popped. And it's been steady, pretty consistent, kind of trending within that range. Gold, on the other hand, it popped. I saw a lot of investors kind of diving into it. And it, if they've been holding this out, we can see a double bottom right here. So that could be a pretty good sign. So if you take a look at the year-to-date right here, we can see a dip right here. Looks like a higher dip, or potentially a dip right there. But overall, it looks like there's some sort of a bottom forming here. And this is an upwards trend. We can see here a bit of a double bottom right here kind of forming. Small dip and then a smaller but higher. So this could be a good opportunity for gold kind of recovering back into the positive, or making some upwards movement there from the support line down at the bottom. So that is gold. We can see bonds up 0.3%. Year to date still down 3.38%. Bonds remain flat. The 10-year bond rate at 1.73. Last week it was 1.73. Here it is continuing to say 1.73. So no changes there. And the 30-year mortgage rate fell 5 basis points from it was 3.32, I believe, this past week right there. 3.32, yep. And it now fell down to 3.27. So I'm not sure if we'll see mortgage rates down in that 2% range. Let me know down in the comment section below if you guys are out there getting mortgages. What rates are you currently getting quoted? Are you getting quoted something in the 2% range, or are you getting quoted something in the lower 3% range? Let me know down in the comment section below. And that is pretty much our recap of the week. I did post a little snippet here from AT&T. Can HBO Max help them out? AT&T is going to be selling off their Time Warner Gaming, I believe. They're going to sell that off for $2 billion, but they have, I believe, like $250 billion of debt. So it's not going to be helping them out too much. I think that's their, no, that's not it. But I did completely sell it out of 3 positions. I saw a couple comments on that. As far as Caterpillar goes, why did I sell off Caterpillar prior to the ex-dividend? I honestly didn't give it any thought there as I was selling it off that it had an ex-dividend date coming up. But I'm not sure where it currently went. Since I sold it off, has Caterpillar, performed well or unwell? I think I sold it off on Friday morning at those highs. So M1 Finance, you put in the sell, it sells it at around 9 a.m. in the morning. So right at that time, it kind of sold off my Caterpillar. And while it is going off ex-dividend here on the 23rd, if I had sold it off and I'll keep those profits, that we could have a market pullback there as far as the Caterpillar, not a market pullback, but just a position pullback where Caterpillar falls back down into a reasonable level. It's not a bad company. I didn't say anything negative about the company in itself. I just feel that its valuations, where its price to earnings ratios and its financials were going, their fundamentals were just a little bit higher risk at the moment. So I believe that, if I sell out of the position right now, if I could rebuy them back in the 180s in the future, that would be pretty positive, or below. I have to look at what my price target was for fairly valued for Caterpillar again, but I don't think that this price of $233 is good at the moment for Caterpillar. So I definitely see some downwards movement in the future with this one, and then I'll probably rebuy back into it because I don't believe it's going to go anywhere in the short term any higher. And this is a cool little snippet here that I saw somebody else post. If you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. End is not the end. In fact, end means effort never dies. So if you get no as an answer, remember that no means next opportunity. So change your mindset. So it's all looking at everything pretty positive and continuing to learn from your failures, because that, mark what you did right, where it went wrong, what you could do to improve the situation, and filter down your different ideas, listen to yourself, embrace creativity and change, and continue to improve your overall learn. And cryptocurrency right now, so dividend stocks have been really doing well, but crypto has me taking a look at it as a bigger portion of my total portfolio. So I think my biggest portion of my wealth or my net assets go into real estate, followed right behind by stock market. But I do want to put potentially, I'm not sure what the number would be for cryptocurrency, but I don't want to be buying into anything like meme or hyped. So Dogecoin, for example, that's not something that I'm going to be buying and holding long term. I want to look for specific cryptocurrencies that have some sort of a cap. So Bitcoin has a cap of 21 million, XRP has a cap of 100 billion. These things have an actual supply that they cannot break. So when you buy them, there's only so many in existence or so many that will ever be mined. So I feel like their potential for value is a higher value versus something like a Dogecoin, which I think some crazy amount of them are produced. As time goes on, it has an endless supply. It continues to duplicate. So I do want to look at cryptocurrency in the future, and I'm not sure how much potentially I would, want to invest there. Anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 here in the future. But we'll talk more on that in the future as it does happen. I do have a Coinbase account, but I am also looking at other cryptocurrency exchanges, or if I buy on Coinbase and then take the cryptocurrency and then move them over to BlockFi just to get that APY return from them. So that is basically it as far as this video goes. First of all, thank you all for tuning into the channel. Thank you for checking it out. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them down in the comment section below. I do read and reply to all your comments. And of course, if you are brand new to the channel, have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be continuing to create content on how to make money, save money, and invest your money. So if any of that is interesting, definitely go down below, hit the red button to subscribe, make it gray, hit the bell to be notified every time we release a brand new video, and of course, give this video a thumbs up, make it blue, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.